What's up, everybody? Welcome to ClayDesk, your #1 e-learning channel for full latest technology courses right here on YouTube for free, or you can go to claydesk.com and of course take all these courses or unlimited courses. All right, so without further ado, I'm going to be showing you demonstrating hands-on how to install Ubuntu Linux right here on Windows 11, and it is very powerful, easy. I'm going to walk you step by step, so you will learn all these steps how to install Linux on your Windows machine, so you don't have to install VirtualBox or go about a workaround. Windows 11 is now powerful enough, or a subsystem is powerful enough to give you Linux right here on Windows 11. So let's dive right in and check out how to install Ubuntu Linux on Windows 11. Welcome back. So let's jump right in. All you need to do is just do WSL and then space and then -- install. Now this is going to install the virtual machine platform, also the Windows subsystem for Linux, and this will allow us to run Linux right here on Windows, so you don't have to create a virtual machine or install VirtualBox. You can do it right here from your PowerShell. Now, we already know how to customize the Windows terminal. That's what it's called in Windows 11. And we'll also take a look at how to customize and run various settings. So once again, right from the prompt, all you do is just WSL right here, -- install. And it's going to go ahead and of course download and create the entire subsystem for Linux, which once it installs, then it's going to go ahead and install the WSL kernel. Once the kernel is installed, it's going to also install the graphical user interface app support. So very powerful, and Windows 11 easy to use. You can run Linux, and it's just fairly easy. And this is going to be helpful for us as we move forward. So in this lesson, just wanted to quickly let you know the command WSL install. So go ahead, take a look. If you're not yet upgraded to Windows 11, please do so. If you already have it, just open up the Windows terminal and that'll be it. And keep in mind, to execute the WSL -- install command, you need to open up the Windows PowerShell or Windows terminal as the administrator. So just simply, for example, you just open this up and just type in Windows terminal. All you need to do is just right click and then run as administrator, right? Otherwise, it's not going to allow you to do so. So make sure you run this before, otherwise it's going to give you an error, right? It's going to say it's not supported. All right, so this is something important, but I wanted to tell you in the middle part of this, right? Perfect. All right, so it's downloading the GUI app support. We're going to wait a while. Once it's done, we'll move on to the next step. And while it's downloading, I'm going to give you a nice trick or tip, right? So if you hold the Control-Shift key down and then use your mouse wheel, you can actually make this transparent, right? So this is pretty cool. It just goes from lighter to more darker shades. So depending on how you want to do it, you can actually see the background once you start making it transparent. So just Control-Shift and then using your mouse key. There you go. There's your tip of the day. Perfect. So once it downloads and install the GUI app support, it's going to go ahead and download Ubuntu. There you go. Linux right in Windows. And that is pretty powerful. So we're done with, of course, the virtual machines and all of that. Now it's directly within Windows. We can run or install Ubuntu. So it's going to go ahead and download the Ubuntu latest version, of course, and then we'll take a look at once it's downloaded to see what version of Ubuntu is installed. And then, of course, we'll just have to wait a while because it's downloading, and then it's going to go ahead and do the install. All right, perfect. So once it downloads the Ubuntu, and of course it says the requested operation is successful, changes will not be effective until the system is rebooted. So I'm going to go ahead and of course reboot the system and open up the Windows terminal again, and then we'll see what actually are the changes. So we should see a change in this menu somewhere. All right, so we'll take a look at it. Let me go ahead and reboot and come back. All right, welcome back. So perfect. Once we reboot our Windows 11 computer and then open up Windows Terminal as the administrator, remember, always run as the admin, you will notice that it says installing. This may take a few minutes, and please create a default Unix user account. And the username does not need to match your Windows name. So I'm going to go ahead and of course create a user account. I'm going to go ahead and say ClayDesk, which is fine. Hit the enter key. I'm just going to go ahead and of course take that username as the default username, or you can of course use any other username, and of course the password, and this could be of course a secure password, right, which will be nice, and you can use any other password. So once the password is updated, it's going to go ahead and let you know to run a command as the admin. Use the root or use sudo. Now these are simple Linux commands, so if you run any Linux command as the admin, you need to either use the sudo option. All right, perfect. So boom, and I can run the commands here. So for example, if I do ls, it's going to give me nothing. There's nothing in there, right? So now I'm actually on a Unix system. If I go out on the menu here, you'll notice under PowerShell, command prompt, Azure, settings, command palette, and then I can click on the plus sign up here and then open up a new terminal. It's going to open up the PowerShell. I already have the Linux option, right? And I can also open up the PowerShell here as well. So perfect. It's just that easy to install Ubuntu, and it says Ubuntu 20.04. That's the version of Ubuntu that is being installed. Perfect. So what you need to do is of course close your Windows terminal and open it back up again as the admin, and once you do it, you will notice on the drop down you will have the Ubuntu, which is a shortcut if you want to use Control Shift plus the number 5, and it's going to open up the Ubuntu Linux for you. But you can do it right from here. Just click on the drop down arrow. Notice you not only have the Windows PowerShell, you have the command prompt, you have the Azure Cloud Shell, Git Bash, and these are already installed. So if you have them on your computer, you're going to see it in the list. And if you do not see them in the list, that means you don't have them installed already on your computer. So there you go. This is how you install Ubuntu. So if I click on Ubuntu, boom, it's going to open up the Linux shell for me, and I'm working in the Linux machine. Yeah, how powerful is that? Not bad. So I can now run Linux commands. Welcome back. Let's run some Linux commands so you know exactly that, hey, it's just powerful and easy to run Linux and Windows. Once we went through the installation, just open up the Windows terminal as the administrator, of course, and of course you can click on the drop down arrow and then choose Ubuntu. Is going to open up Ubuntu for you, and this is powerful. This is Linux. You can also install like Debian, any other thing like Docker, whatever you can run and install right here. So for example, once you're in Linux, I can do a simple ls. It's going to give me a whole list of directory. I'm going to go ahead and clear this up, and I'm going to create a new directory, or maybe I already have it. So I'm just going to cd into the directory called Claydesk, and let's take a look at the contents. Was nothing in Claydesk. What I can do here, for example, just to give you an idea of working with Linux, I could create a file, a text file within this directory. So I could do touch, I could say myfile.txt, and this command simply creates a text file within this folder. If I do ls, you will notice right here it says myfile.txt. Perfect. Now, of course, it's a blank file. How do we actually type some contents in this file, right? For example, myfile.txt is nothing in it. So there are built-in editors in Linux that I could use. I could use Nano, for example, or VI, or other editors, but these are the default ones. So I can say something like Nano and say myfile.txt. And what this is going to do is going to open up the actual text file. There you go. So this is the GNU Nano 4.8. myfile.txt is nothing in it. So I can say, hello world, we have learned how to install Ubuntu Linux on Windows 11. So this is just a text file. You can continue to type as many or whatever you want to do. So once I'm done, I can do a Control X, which is, again, you notice on the bottom, it shows you the actual commands. So do a Control X, that's going to exit. It's going to ask save modified buffer. I'm going to say yes or Y. File name to write myfile.txt, which is fine. The enter key, and boom, that's it. So if I do ls, still have my myfile.txt. Now, how do I view the contents of this particular file? So for example, I could do a cat. That's the command for viewing the contents of the file. So it's cat, and then I can say myfile.txt. So it's going to open up all the contents. So boom, hello world. We have learned how to install Ubuntu Linux on Windows 11. Of course, the spellings of Windows is not correct, but hey, we get the idea, right? Perfect. All right, so yeah, that's all. Wanted to run through how to install Linux on Windows. You don't have to have a separate virtual machine installed on your computer. Just use Windows Terminal. Hope you like this video. Go ahead, practice with this a couple of times, and of course, practice with some basic Linux commands, or check out my other videos. Do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and of course, share this video if you like with your friends, colleagues, and coworkers. My name is Syed. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video.